Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on inside Keystone Arena on the campus of Kutztown, University of Pennsylvania, as we are live here on the PSAC network with PSAC East men's basketball action. I'm Tyler Trumbauer, joined shortly by KU assistant women's basketball coach Justin Hallman, who will be joining me for this evening's broadcast as he's fresh off a 78-63 victory over Millersville in the first game of our twin bill this evening inside the Den. Now the men's turn as Millersville and KU clash in a game that was supposed to be this past Saturday night, pushed up to Saturday afternoon, and then postponed to tonight, all because of Winter Storm Harper in whatever form that it came here to Berks County. Nonetheless, everyone's safe and sound, so we'll play tonight inside the Den and gives the teams a couple more days to prep for each other. And for KU, this is an important game this time tonight. 5-5 overall. Millersville 5-4. These teams very close to each other. Millersville one step ahead of Kutztown in the Eastern Division standings coming into tonight, and they're both chasing East Stroudsburg, Westchester, and then the leader Shippensburg, who is 8-2 overall. KU has had a tough trek in the early going, a lot of tough non-league contests, but they're managed. They're 11-7 overall. They're doing well. And now they're trying to get their way into the top of the PSAC East standings tonight and looking to do the best that they can. And they're going to have to need it as they're going up against a three-headed monster on the scoring for Millersville tonight, led by Marcus Atkinson, 18.5 points per game, the leading scorer for Millersville. And just like Lister for the women's game, he is also in the top few for every major statistical category for the Marauders, so definitely a name to watch out for. Jaden Faulkner averaging a little over 13 points per game, and Caden Najdawi also averaging 13 points per game for the Marauders as well. So a lot of scoring coming in for Millersville so far tonight. And for the KU Golden Bears, of course, you're going to be looking at Anthony Lee averaging just under 28 points per game, and Mo Williams just under 12 points. Ricky Hicks also averaging just under 10. And don't forget about Kion Hardy, in and out of the starting lineup this season, has come in big. Remember, he had that buzzer beater against IUP to throw it to overtime when they pushed the nationally ranked team to potentially their first loss of the year. So he's had a big role both off the bench and in the starting lineup, so we'll see what he can prove tonight. Little preview of the starting fives. We'll give you the full lineups momentarily, but it's a big one as KU and Millersville battle for that fourth spot in the PSAC East. And, of course, typically, as Anthony Lee goes, so does this team. We saw how he was the last home game, a little slow going, and KU was able to overcome it. But certainly sometimes it has been tough for KU when Anthony Lee hasn't been able to get things going. He has scored in double figures, though, in the last 47 games. Not too shabby. Second in Division II with his points per game average. He's fourth in the conference with three-point percentage. He's done well. And, of course, Mo Williams, as well as I mentioned, he is an important player and one to watch out for in a supportive role. We'll get you the starting lineups, Justin Hallman. But first, the national anthem here inside Keystone Arena. National anthem in the books here, moments away from tip-off in our men's contest, KU Millersville. Let's meet the starting fives for either team. First, for the visiting Marauders. Number 3, a 6-foot-tall, 195-pound freshman guard from Glendale, Maryland, Jaden Faulkner. Number 20, a 6'3", 185-pound sophomore guard from Grottoes, Virginia, James Sullivan. Number 24, a 5'11", 175-pound senior guard from Annandale, Virginia, Marcus Adkison. Number 25, a 6'6", 220-pound freshman forward from Bowie, Maryland, Justin Nwusu. And rounding out the starting five, number 33, a 6'8", 220-pound sophomore forward from Chesterfield, Virginia, number 33, Caden Najdawi, head coached by Casey Stitzel. And now coming up for your starting five for the KU Golden Bears. Number 5, a 6-foot-tall, 175-pound sophomore guard from Philadelphia, Kion Hardy. Number 10, a staple of the starting five, a 5'10", 175-pound senior guard from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, Ricky Hicks. Number 22, a 6'4", 175-pound sophomore guard from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Facundo Aarons. Number 23, we talked about him in the open, a 6'2" tall, 190-pound redshirt senior guard from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, Anthony Lee. And rounding out your starting five, a 6'7", 215-pound junior forward from Philly, number 34, Josh Townsend, of course, head coached by Bernie Driscoll. And now we are joined by the assistant women's basketball coach here at Kutztown University, fresh off his 15-point victory over the Marauders himself, Justin Hallman. Coach, thanks for joining me this evening.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
So fresh off the victory for him, now the men's team looks to complete the sweep of the Marauders in this rivalry. Coach, this is an important one. Millersville just one ahead of KU in the division. Now that when the calendar switched to 2019, how important are these contests to get these wins? Because in March, these games really count.
Absolutely, and it's really important to put together winning streaks. So just coming off a win right here last time out against Mansfield, to put together 2 wins, get yourself a couple victories, and then have an opportunity to have other guys step up. Obviously, without Mo Williams in the game today, the Bears are going to have somebody step up and provide what they missed from not having him out there on the floor.
Bringing up a good point, Mo Williams on the bench tonight in his sweats, so he is unavailable for this evening's contest. KU will try to do it without him, their second leading scorer. And it was uncertain, kind of a game-time decision, and it turns out that the decision is for him to not play tonight. And KU will try to get the win without him. Aaron's in the middle, as is Najdawi for the Marauders, the tip, and we're underway here inside Keystone Arena as the second game of our doubleheader between Millersville and Kutztown is underway here live on the PSAC network. Marauders basketball, one off the tip. Kicking it around. Millersville looks to drive, dump, low block, good defense, nearly a travel. They get the friendly roll on the road. Justin Nwusu, the freshman, gets that one to roll in for the first basket of the night. Aaron's over to Hardy. Hardy stops, free throw line jumper. That one gets the friendly roll to go. Hardy getting the scoring started for the Golden Bears. 2-2 in the early going here around the world, but stuffed. Anthony Lee doesn't give up on the play. Fights through the screen and is able to stuff him there underneath. Will go out of bounds off of one of the leading scorers in Division II, so it'll stay here. 17 on the clock, shot clock that is. And that one stuffed. Hardy, they say don't bring it down low for the smaller people underneath. That's normally where I shined. Shot clock at 3. Millersville's got to work. Number 33's got to shoot it. He does, and he gets it to go with the fadeaway to get it to go. Najdawi, the Chesterfield, Virginia native, gets it to fall for 2. Lee, step back, kind of slid a bit. Good handoff, and Townsend misses the layup. Najdawi with the rebound. And it's going the other way for Millersville. 4-2, the Marauders lead. Trailing Najdawi for 3. That one just barely grazes the front of the rim, but Millersville rebounds, stop, and they'll settle this one down. Najdawi has 11 three-pointers, so not out of his realm there. despite him being 6'8", 220. And that one, a little alley-oop, and Najdui forgets the tray, dunks it for two, and Millersville out to a quick 6-2 lead. Head coach Casey Stitzel, his third season on the sidelines for the Marauders, has to like the way his team's beginning this evening's contest. KU setting up in the half-court set for the first time in a while. Hicks around the world. Aarons, speaking of around the world, the Argentinian, and that one go whistle silent as he hits the deck. Corner three, no good. And that layup no good. Millersville had it briefly. Hardy's got it now, loses it though in transition. And we'll turn the ball right back over. Justin, how much does Kutztown just kind of got to settle in? It seems like they're trying to maybe push and press too much here in the early going.
Oh, exactly. They're pressing too much in the early going, and the focus is out of it right now. They need to calm things down, get themselves a good bucket.
And here's a foul here, our first one of the contest.
Just like next to the blue frame, it says Stretch Internet, and there's another one that says Stretch. Oh, yeah, I see the gear now.
And that will send a Marauder to the line. The foul is going to be on Anthony Lee, his first. Certainly not a player you want to be getting into foul trouble. Marcus, that will send, Justin Nwusu to the line. Now a first substitution of the game. That will send Townsend to the bench for Kutztown. 42, Akilo Mosby comes into the contest. We saw him in elongated runs over the last couple of games, especially when other players have been in foul trouble.
Yeah, he did a really nice job in the Edinburgh game, especially, Tyler.
Yeah, and that game was an interesting one early on. Neither team could really get settled in. He provided some much-needed strength underneath where they were dominating the Fighting Scotch in the paint. And then he was really got a lot of minutes in that one. So 8-2, we got a whistle here underneath the basket now. KU basketball, 20 on the shot clock. And here's a three for Lee, and that one's good. Anthony Lee with a well-needed three for the Golden Bears to make it 8-5. Kick it over, skip pass in front of the Golden Bears bench. Hardy on defense. Now they rest, collapse, throws it up, no good. Sullivan was in open for the corner three. They decided to lay it in. Now Lee nearly with the travel. Keeps it alive, though. Lee lost it for a moment. Aarons picks it up. Hardy goes, lays it in, gets fouled en route to the hoop. And now he landed hard. He's kind of slow to get up, but he gets fouled. That'll be on number 33, Caden Najdi.
The drive is a good decision by Hardy, and it's going to be something we're going to have to see a little bit more of here by the Golden Bears. Millersville, not a team with a lot of height, especially there with Coach Driscoll going to Mosley as the substitution. I was going to say Townsend or him is going to have to step up. Townsend had a great game at Mansfield, 18 points, really dominated the boards, played really hard inside. So Coach Driscoll is going to need more of that, especially with Williams out of the game today. They're going to need more inside presence. Millersville, again, not a very tall team, should be able to attack the rim.
And that was Hardy's foul shot good. He's got 3 points. Foul was on number 5. Foul was not on number 5. That's Kion Hardy getting it. The foul was on Najdui, who then exited the ball game. Now that we cleared that up, had a substitution as well. We'll get you that in a moment. That was DeMarco Suggs, a sophomore, coming into the ball game. Shot clock at 3. It's going to be number 3 throwing it up. Nothing doing there. Aarons gets it. He's driving ahead. He looks to go the distance. He lays it off the rim, no good, but Mosby with a good bat. Aarons will try it again, lowers the elbow, gets the foul, and he will be fouled in the act, and he will have some foul shots on the other side of this timeout. With 15:51 left to go in the first half, there's a timeout on the floor. Millersville 8. Kutztown 6. We'll be right back after this with more on the PSAC Network. We're back here inside Keystone Arena. 8-6 the score. Millersville jumped out to a bigger lead, and then now KU kind of chipping away at it. And these upcoming foul shots from Aarons will help KU's case. Down 2 at the moment. Aarons will head to the line, though. KU has yet to lead in the contest. Aarons misses the first. Could have potentially had our second tie if he made both. Foul was ruled on Millersville before, so Aarons misses both. Millersville going the other way. Made the second one, 8-7. That one, top of the key three, nothing doing there. That was Adkisson who tried the three. The leading three-point scorer. He's got 56 this season. That's a little uncharacteristic of him.
And that's pretty much it after him. The next highest is 21 from Sullivan. So if we can take him away from the perimeter, force him to drive, be a good opportunities for the Bears.
Speaking of a three-point shooter, Anthony Lee, probably not a good idea to leave him open. Lee for 3. That's 2 from beyond the arc in the early going.
Now 63 pointers on the year.
Not too shabby. Now the Golden Bears with their first lead of the night, 10-8. Mosby, good defense there across the lane. Under 15 minutes to go here in the first half. Shot clock at 3. Deep 3. Got to shoot it, and that's good. No range, no problem. Number 20, James Sullivan.
I guess I set him up there for that one.
You did. He's like, what do you mean? That's it. He only had his 21, but his 22nd was from way downtown. Now we have a foul called. And that will be on, looks to be on Suggs, who it is his second off the bench, so he'll go right back to the bench. And that one no good. Ball up for grabs. Millersville's got it. 2-on-1. Up and under. No good. Mosby with the rebound.
Great discipline there by Aarons.
That was Faulkner trying to go for the round the rim. Now Hardy tries to get a little fancy as he tries to go around a defender. Nothing doing there. So now we got a little playground basketball breaking out. 3-on-2. Mosby airborne. Doesn't foul him though. And does end up kind of disrupting the play. 11-10, Millersville lead. Lee for 3. Oh, Anthony Lee is feeling it tonight. I feel bad for Millersville.
Getting hot. He's getting hot early, and that's definitely something that Coach Driscoll is going to love to see early here in the first half.
9 points for Lee. He's got the game highest so far, all 9 from beyond the arc for the redshirt senior. And the crowd filling in here nicely at Keystone Arena as Faulkner tries to go up, lay it in. No good, but they'll call a foul. And this crowd not really agreeing with that one, but good to see students coming back on campus and coming right out to the den to support the Golden Bears. Foul will be on Mosby, his first. Team second here in the half. It'll send Faulkner to the line. The Eleanor Roosevelt graduate. Got a lot of schools named after presidents. Not as many about the first lady. This to tie the game. And that one's short.
Yeah. Looks like he left a little early there, Mosby.
And they call him for it. So Faulkner made the first, not the second. They'll go back and do it again. And he makes that one. So second chance a little bit better for him. 13-23 left in the first half. Aarons up, and they will call an offensive foul on Facundo Aarons.
It's the right idea, though. You have to keep attacking the basket again. Millersville, not a lot of height out there. Should be able to get a lot of points in the paint tonight.
And we'll see a substitution for Coach Driscoll and company. They will send in number 24, Daquan Granberry. The freshman guard from Linwood, Pennsylvania, also has had some very good productive minutes off the bench this season.
Yeah, definitely give Coach Driscoll some energy, and that's something that, it looks like the Bears might need a little bit of right now. Flat at times.
Anthony Lee, the lone spark for the Golden Bears, got 9 of their 13 so far. So you get closer to the midway point. Around the world goes Faulkner, and he stepped into outer space out of bounds. So turnover there for the Marauders. So Hicks comes up the court with it. Foul there on Jamal Washington, who just checked into the ball game not that long ago, the sophomore from Dumfries, Virginia.
Coach Stitzel not too pleased with
No,
this.
he's one of the most animated coaches
Yes.
on the PSAC sidelines. I do enjoy that.
That is the nice way of saying it. Definitely an adamant coach for sure. Very demonstrative.
Granberry stops at the elbow. Mosby gives it right back to him. Shot clock at 5. They got to work. Number 5 has it. What's he going to do? Post up for 3. No. Oh, he gets the bounce. And the long 3 for Hardy, forced by the shot clock, gets to go in. And when shots are dropping like that, you got to think things are going Kutztown's way tonight. Right now, they're only up 3. Hicks drops to the floor. Millersville can't take advantage. Lee jumps everybody and gets the rebound. He's looking to go coast to coast. No, Cook kicks it corner 3. Hicks, that one's good. And KU cannot be stopped from beyond the arc as that corner 3 in transition will induce a 30-second timeout from Coach Stitzel on the sidelines, as KU is now 5 for 7 from beyond the arc so far in this one. 12:04 on the clock. We got a timeout on the floor. Kutztown 19, Millersville 13. We'll be right back after this. We're back here on the PSAC network. 19-13, KU out front by 6. Millersville currently with the basketball. And that one's good for 3. Millersville needed that one to get back into it. As number 24, Adkisson, he's going to be a threat from downtown.
Definitely have to force him off the perimeter, make him drive, force him to beat us off the bounce instead of wide open three-pointers, which is what he hit and which is what he leads them in.
Mm-hmm. Now Granberry with a good move. Elbow
move.
Jumper, good.
Impressive move there.
With the jumper. 21-16, maybe the offenses will start to pick things up a bit. Stop, kicks it. 3, potential no drive. Washington dishes it off underneath. 3 Golden Bears. Someone was probably going to foul. It looks like they will get Mosby. And they do. It's going to be his second foul off the bench now.
There should be an opportunity for Townsend to come back in here and assert himself a little bit more, and here he comes.
He goes to the scorer's table, and we'll have a couple subs coming in here. Hardy will check out. We'll see a new player, Kyrie Jennerett, will come into the ball game. He'll come in for Hardy, and as Justin said, we will see Townsend back in for Mosby.
Jennerett from William Penn High School, not a president.
Not a president, no. Townsend and Jennerett, as we said, on Millersville sides. Makai Hendricks comes in for Sullivan. Hendricks, a freshman from Strasburg, Virginia. That's a foul. A lot of Virginia natives on this Marauder squad. I mean, Millersville is very close to the bottom of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
We got a foul. Conversation.
Foul
on number two.
Yeah.
Washington.
His second. He's really getting up in the grill of Anthony Lee.
Jennerett with the basketball now. Shot clock at 10. They got to work quickly. Now at 5, Lee trying to get open. He's going to have to throw something up. Step back 3, top of the key. Anthony Lee, no good. Was a decent look, though, with the shot clock dwindling down. Now, they thought about going coast to coast. Did Adkisson, thought better of it. So now they'll pull it out. 10-19 left here in the first half. Dribbles it off his toe, keeps it. Facundo Aarons goes to the scores table to check in. Kick it. Thought about a 3, did Kaba. And now that one's an offensive foul. Ricky Hicks standing tall in the low block and will draw that foul.
Great defense in there by Hicks to slide over and take that one right on the chest. And gets rewarded with a little break.
That foul will be on Kaba, the redshirt senior from Penwood High. We'll see a substitution as well. You see Hicks head to the bench after that one, and that one a near turnover. It'll stay here, though. Aarons comes in for Hicks.
Not very happy with the officials there as Coach Stitzel, as the ball goes right off the ref and out of bounds. Very disappointed, to say the least.
Tonight's officials getting in on the action. John Layton, Jack Kiter, and Jim Koskinen.
Playing good defense for the Bears. Paycheck is in the mail.
Aarons around the screen, kicks it, try to get it to Jennerett, stolen away. Millersville in transition, down 4, looking for a basket, and an easy lay-in for 2. That's Jaden Faulkner.
That's where Millersville really succeeds, getting out and what looks to be a 5-out guard or 5-guard offense right here, and they're going to be able to attack the rim. It's going to be a long night for the Bears. Have to stop them in transition.
And Lee finally scores closer to the basket as he'll split 2 Marauders and lay it in for 2 to get that lead back up to 4. As we're past the midway point here in the first half. Good pass back out, and a line drive jumper from the corner is good for 3. Makai Hendricks gets it to go. Not sure how he saw the open Marauder with his back turned to him. And that one a foul. And Anthony Lee banks in the long-range jumper.
Third foul for Washington.
So something to watch out there as he will head to the bench with those 3 personals, likely for an extended stay. We're in the bonus here with 8 fouls now on the Marauders. That'll send Jennerett to the line for a 1-and-1. That one is good. And the second true as well. Sullivan came in for Washington in between those foul shots. 25-22 now the score in favor of the home team. Now here's 3. He's open. That one's good. Amadou Kaba gets it to go from downtown. He's the 3rd leading three-point shooter on the team. So it doesn't end with Marcus Adkisson. Granberry tries to split defenders, and an offensive foul. Looks like it'll be called on him.
Too many forced drives by the Golden Bears right now. Play a little bit of offense, make them have to move side to side defensively, and then attack the gaps. Too many times the Bears are trying to force easy drives when they don't have it, when they're not there.
Granberry will head to the bench with the foul. Hicks will come back in. Game tied at 25. Jenner on defense, spin move, and the layup is short, no good. Fancy footwork, can't finish. Anthony Lee up ahead, and he'll dunk it for two to get the Denton Rocket. Anthony Lee in transition.
High percentage shot there by Lee, and that's what we need to do. Get out on the break. Kutztown needs to look up and get easy buckets.
And they're back out front, under 8 minutes to go now here in the first half of a back-and-forth ball game between these two. They're very close in the standings. You'd figure it'd be a close ball game. Matt lay-in, no good. Over the outstretched fingertips, but couldn't go. Jenner at running point, pulls it back out. Now gets it over to Hicks, the starting point guard, and that one nearly stolen away. Stitzel thought it was going the other way. Officials will keep it for Kutztown. The Golden Bears will throw it in with 22 on the shot clock. After this, with 7:34 on the clock, there's a timeout on the floor. Kutztown clinging to a 2-point lead, 27-25. We'll be back after this with more on the PSAC Network. Back here in the PSAC Network, Tyler Trumbauer, Justin Hallman with you. 7:34 on the clock here in the first half. KU up by 2, thanks in large part to Anthony Lee's 13 points, has nearly half of the team's production. And as I said in the open, Coach, as Anthony Lee goes, so do the Golden Bears.
Absolutely, and this is a very important game, as you've said a few times, Tyler. Really need to focus in and get a couple easy shots, or better shots, I should say, on the offensive end, especially if it's not going to be Lee being the only person to score.
Kutztown forcing some things at times. 5 turnovers to Millersville's 3. A little miscommunication there. Luckily, Aaron saves it. Shot clock at 5. Remember, it wasn't fresh coming out of the timeout, and he's running out of time. He's got to throw up a prayer, and I'll say it again. When shots like that fall, you got to think things are going to go Kutztown's way.
Did they change those rims in between games? Because I don't remember us having that many easy shots in the first game, in the first half.
That's true. I didn't see any work. I think there was some work done to the floor, but I don't know about the rims in between games. And that one, a spin away, fadeaway jumper, too strong, no good. Aaron's pushing it ahead. Skip pass, good save. Back to Aaron's again. He'll drive, spin, layup, nearly losing control. KU up by 4 at the moment. Mid-range jumper, baseline, rims in and out, no good. And he gets his own rebound, and he finishes up for 2. That was Hendricks. First time, no dice. Second time, lays it in for 2.
And you're going to lose a little bit of rebounding when Coach Driscoll goes to a smaller lineup as well to defend against these 5 guards. Need to come up with some big rebounds.
And a travel and a turnover for the Golden Bears. Neither team really being able to pull away. Both teams, their largest lead has been 6 so far here in the first half. KU up by just 2 at the moment. And that was the 6th turnover of the night for the Golden Bears.
And again, trying to do too much one-on-one, too much isolation play. Need to take strong drives, spread them out on defense, and get yourself better opportunities to score.
Trying to get it to the low block. Lee on defense. Trying to go up is Nwosu, and it's good for 2. We're tied at 29. Hicks will bring it up the court. Faulkner just checked in for Kaba as well before that Millersville possession. Hardy goes to Degenerate in the corner. Thought about driving, but Lee kind of cut in that same lane. A shot clock at 6. Hicks takes on some contact. Not as lucky that time with the shot clock winding down. Now to the corner. Thought about a 3 in front of Kutztown bench. Bench looking for a walk. This one at the free throw line. Brick, nothing doing there. Rebound up again. That one's good. Faulkner turning garbage into gold for the Marauders. And now they're up front by 2. And I think Coach Driscoll's seen enough of this lineup. He sends Townsend to check in. Under 5 minutes to go until the half. Lee looks to drive, gets it to Degenerate. Good look. He's got to lay it in. Splits the defender and good for 2. Kyrie Degenerate, the freshman, lays it in.
You're seeing Millersville is focusing all their attention defensively to Anthony Lee. Obviously taking away Kutztown's leading scorer. But it's important for the Golden Bears to still get the ball in Anthony Lee's hands, as you can see with that last possession, creating something for others.
And that Lee hits the deck, whistle silent, layup no good anyway. And Degenerate tries to go up court with it. They settle it down. Lee trailing for 3, too strong, no good. Rebound, Hendricks.
Good shot, though. It's a good shot. Anytime Anthony Lee has a wide open three-point opportunity, definitely a good shot.
After making his first 3 three-pointer attempts, he's now 0 for 2. As we have now 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Degenerate slows it down. KU running a set here in the half court. Open, Hicks for 3. That one tickles the twine. Ricky Hicks from downtown.
Big shot there by Hicks.
Good screen to set that one up, create some space for him beyond the arc. Mid-range jumper, good. And Hendricks gets that one to go. Give him 7 points so far tonight, as he is stepping up above his nightly average for the Marauders here, coming off the bench. Degenerate, toe on the line for 2, no good. Long rebound to Sullivan.
Need to get better shots than that. Need to definitely produce more offense than settle for a fadeaway jump shot with feet on the three-point line.
And now thought about a 3, instead comes inside. That one does get the friendly roll for 2. Hendricks kind of feeling it right now. Now Hicks looks to drive, and that's going to be offensive. He almost catapulted himself into Sullivan.
Well, Coach Dissel's been begging for that call for the last few minutes, and he got it.
And there's a timeout on the floor. 2:46 left in this one. Back and forth, the seesaw goes. Millersville currently on the high side, up 35-34. We'll be back after this on the PSAC Network. Back here inside Keystone Arena as we quickly return to the action And we have a stoppage here. I think they're going to look at the clock. Clock didn't move, 30 seconds. The shot clock didn't move. As we had a power briefly go out, scoreboards go dark during the break. Look to be okay at the moment, but they will dwindle 5 seconds off of it. So it's 25 seconds now. 2:40 ticking down. And top of the key, 3 off the front of the rim, no good. And now we have a foul here. So Townsend will go to the line. The junior will shoot some foul shots. 1-1.
And after this, the Golden Bears in the double bonus the rest of the way this first half. Important to keep driving to the basket, getting themselves some free opportunities.
That one in and out, no good. Full court pressure here by the Golden Bears. And crowd looking for a walk, nothing doing, doesn't get the basket to go anyway. Lee looks to go up, lay it in. That one no good. Millersville going the other way. And they'll kick it over corner. 3 in front of KU's bench. No good. Rebound Townsend. And now this one, Hardy, mid-range jumper, no good.
Not a good settle there.
Now it looks like we're watching a tennis match. Back and forth here as the teams traded some fast break opportunities. They'll settle it down here to the Marauders a bit, dump it low block. Aaron's being disruptive. That one, hook, in and out, no good. Townsend rebound foul as we've got 90 seconds to go until the half.
Well, you've already seen the last 3 trips down, Townsend with defensive rebounds there, giving the Golden Bears something that they didn't have in the midway through this first half. Two big opportunities here for Townsend.
And he gets the first to tie the game at 35. Millersville substitution. Nwosu will head to the bench. Cabo will come back in. And second good as well. So after those foul shots, Coach Driscoll will call a timeout. Quick 30-second timeout. Minute 29 left on the clock. KU up 36-35 at the moment. Justin, how important are these final 89 seconds to kind of finish strong? We saw how important to close a quarter was for your team in the women's game, that final 3 minutes of the third quarter and the first 2 minutes of the fourth. Biggest stretch of the game that gave you guys that double-digit lead you carried to the end. For KU, how important is it here for Millersville to get a couple good looks, and you could be up by 5 or more?
Yeah, the momentum's been on the seesaw, I guess you could say, throughout this first half here. It's really important to go into the locker room with a nice little 4 or 5 point cushion if you can. Gives yourself a little bit of confidence going into the second half, knowing that you can assert yourself in a certain way, come out strong in the second half as well.
That one tipped away momentarily. Millersville keeps possession. And a foul on the floor. Going to be on Hardy. His first, the team's 7th. So shooting some foul shots here. 1-on-1 is Faulkner.
And part of those momentum switches have been the way the officials have been calling the game. I mean, we started off early here, calling a lot of fouls. Then the physical play was happening, letting them go. And now we're back to hand checking out on the perimeter.
Foul shot doesn't go.
Ball don't lie, they say.
As does Tony Romo as well on yesterday's broadcast.
Oh.
In the AFC Championship game. And now we got a little extracurriculars after the jump ball.
Hoping to get the crowd into it.
Maybe. I think they're liking it a little bit.
Very stoic in our game as well. I think the student section's still on Christmas break. Still in winter break, someone?
They're slowly coming back in. They got to get into the groove again. You know,
It's cold outside.
It is cold outside. It's hard to heat up when it's 4 degrees.
That high, is it?
Yeah. Under a minute to go now. KU still up 1. Lee gets the defender in the air. Doesn't opt to draw a foul. Shot clock at 3. Good move. Lee to lay it in, and that gets the crowd going, Coach. As Anthony Lee's a little ball handling skills and finish for 2. The crowd likes that one.
They're starting to heat up.
That they are. Here's a 3. That one way too strong. No good. Now Lee has it about 1 second, maybe 0.9 between the shot and game clock. So they can essentially hold for the final here.
Yeah, very important to hold for the last shot here. They've scored the last 4 points. Give yourself a good opportunity, carry this momentum going into the second half.
We're just talking about that. Let's see if KU can capitalize. Shot clock down to 10. Lee's got it. Up top. Nearly got it stolen away, and they call a foul. And the crowd likes it. Can't say the same about the Millersville bench. So the foul, though, will obviously send Anthony Lee to the line to shoot 2. As Justin said, now in the double bonus. So he can tack on 2 more to this little scoring run. Millersville scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 51 seconds. And that one's good. He's now got 16 points, averages just under 28, well on his way to a typical night in the office, if not more. Lee makes that one. And he will get an early start to the half. Jennerett comes in for him. KU up 5, 8 seconds exactly left. And Aarons gets in front of that one out of bounds, so it'll stay here in Millersville. 0.7 ticked off there. And we have an off-the-ball foul on Hardy. He already has 1 personal, make this his 2nd, and we will now walk the floor.
You'll see Anthony Lee check right on back in.
And that's exactly probably the only thing, if you're Hardy, you didn't want to do there.
Correct, yeah, and no need for it either.
You didn't want to.
Up 5 points, have a good opportunity to close out the half. As you said, Millersville on a bit of a scoring drought.
Right.
Don't want to send them to the line for a free opportunity.
And now you got to bring your leading scorer back in instead of getting a couple extra seconds with the water bottle. And that one is good. Second short, Townsend rebound. They can get a shot off. He looks up, sees the clock, tries to get it up to Jennerett. That one's stolen away. Now Millersville can get a shot at the buzzer. Too strong, no good as Sullivan corralled the loose ball. And Townsend, after that miscue, Coach Driscoll will have a little word with him going into the locker room, kind of a teaching moment for the Golden Bear just in his junior season. So 20 minutes in the books. It's been back and forth, as Justin said. Kutztown currently out front, 40-36. And we will step aside here for a couple minutes. We'll come back with some first half analysis and, of course, the second half action after this on the PSAC Network. Back here inside Keystone Arena as the second half is underway with that pass intended for Aarons goes awry. Turnover for the Golden Bears. KU up 40-36 still at the near minute mark into the second half. Anthony Lee leading scorer, 17 points in that first half, but Millersville staying in this one, 13 points off the bench, and they have a 14-8 advantage in the paint. After that first half, and that's what's keeping Coach Stitchell and company in this ball game. In a back-and-forth affair, score's been tied 6 times, and the lead has changed hands 7 in the first 20 minutes of play. And now Ricky Hicks steps out of bounds.
Too many of those careless turnovers for the Golden Bears. If it's a forced turnover, that's one thing. An unforced error, not good for the Bears.
And we saw a lot of those in the women's game, especially on Millersville side. They had like 3 straight travels and some other things. And now those are things that kind of eat away at you. As that's a good back down and finish at the rim for number 33, Najdui. Gets things started here and puts his team down just 2.
We were okay with those Millersville turnovers, just for the record. In the first
you were okay with them?
We
yeah.
were fine with them.
Right. Lee, baseline, stop, jumper, good. Anthony Lee for 2.
Anthony Lee doing a good job asserting himself so far in the early goings of this second half. Needs to continue to do that.
And wasn't the last game you and I did together, Coach, was the Westchester game.
Correct.
And it seemed like, wasn't that one where he had the slow start? He wasn't really creating opportunities for himself or his teammates. We're seeing a completely different Anthony Lee tonight.
Yeah, and it's tough when a lot of the scoring certainly is on his shoulders, but the more he can either create for himself or for others benefits the Bears.
Hicks looking, trying to get to Townsend. Now Townsend, good spin move, low block, goes up, no good. Najdui just kind of takes it over top his head. Stop, trailing, thought about a 3. Look at these ball handling skills and tried to lay it in for 2. Najdui's a good player, 6'8", but can move the ball as well. And that one rims in and out, no good. Foul on the Golden Bears going the other way. I think they might get Townsend for this one, and they do. His first, team's first here in the second half. Millersville backing down Lee on defense. Now they'll get it down to Najdui again. Townsend's there, and he goes up and gets the foul. And someone is going to have to come up with a game plan to try to take care of Caden Najdui, who is having himself quite the start to the second half.
Well, he's asserting himself. As we said about Anthony Lee, he's trying to create something out of nothing. He struggled in the first half, only had 4 points, basically saddled with fouls. Obviously only played 3 minutes in the first half, but he's starting, as you said, to assert himself. He is the 3rd leading scorer on the team, and you're definitely going to see Millersville go to him early and often. And maybe Mosby will do the trick as he checks in for Coach Driscoll.
Mosby got an early run in the first half. And now is back in here for the second half as those foul shots are good. So Mosby comes in for Townsend. We're knotted at 42. 16:42 to go. And an offensive foul here. And Mosby makes his presence known, picks up his 3rd personal, less than a minute after coming into the contest.
Well, you have 5. Use them up.
Kick it over in front of the Marauders bench now. Now low block, Najdui. Aaron's there just getting bullied on the low block. And Najdui gets it going once again as he lays it in for 2. Give him 12 points so far, 1 below his nightly average.
And 8 in the second half here.
Lee loses it, trying to split a couple of defenders. Now a 2-on-1. Aaron's got to get back. Faulkner goes up and lays it in for 2. And Coach Driscoll finds his team now down by 4. They've been scoreless in the last 2 minutes, as Millersville's on an 8-0 run in that time frame.
Golden Bears needing this media timeout desperately.
We're under the 16-minute mark. Lee trying to stop the bleeding. That'll help. Anthony Lee for 3. And he prompts a Kutztown University timeout after that one, and it will stretch into that much-needed timeout that Coach Hallman talked about. 15:41 left on the clock. KU right back in it, down by 1, 46-45 to Millersville. We'll be back after this on the PSAC Network. We're back here at Keystone Arena on the campus of Kutztown, University of Pennsylvania. 15:41 left in the second half of our PSAC East men's basketball tilt. The Marauders up by 1. Justin Holman, Tyler Trumbauer with you on the PSAC network, KUBears.com, the PSAC's website, Amazon Fire, Roku. Just search PSAC, get the app. Don't miss any of the action. And there's action right away out of the timeout. Millersville with a good dump underneath the low block and finish for 2. Marauders up 3. Anthony Lee try to go around, and now we're going to have an illegal screen here on Facundo Aarons. And that's going the other way. And there's a timeout on the floor. So they will take that one. 15-13 now on the clock. Couple seconds tick by. Marauders basket. Another timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back after this. .45, the Marauders out front after the timeout here. Millersville basketball as well. Back and forth the game has gone since basically tip. And now here we are in the early parts of the second half. Around the world pass underneath, trying to get it to Najdui, which kind of has been the MO of the Marauders here in the first couple minutes of the second half. It's worked to their advantage.
Something to keep an eye on. Aarons now with his 3rd foul of the game.
So we had the illegal screen and then pick that one up there. Shot's good for 3. Marcus Adkisson gets it going from beyond the arc. And now the Marauders are up by 6, their largest lead of the night. And another whistle and another foul.
Another illegal screen. I think that's the 3rd trip in a row now.
And that one will be on Townsend. Aarons will head to the bench, as Justin said, with some foul trouble at the moment. And that one, backdoor, lays it in 4-2. They are getting the ball to Najdui close to the rim any way possible. And that one gets it into Townsend, and he gets stuffed. And they'll keep it here, though, and Coach Driscoll is looking for an answer. And they'll bring Mosby in to try to stop Najdui, and they'll send Townsend to the bench, who also has 3 personal fouls. So that factors into the decision as well.
Really important for the Golden Bears to get a bucket here, try to stop the momentum of Millersville. Things starting to unravel a bit here for the Golden Bears.
7-0 run for the Marauders. Lee went up and got fouled as he was driving in the paint. And that will send him to the line for 2. Don't have it in front of me, but he typically shoots about 90% from the free throw line.
Well, he's 100% so far for the day.
That he is. And he makes that one. And the second attempt is missed.
And the broadcaster jinx is live and well.
We'll blame that one on you. He came into the night shooting 91%. .14:05 ticking down here in the second half. KU down by 7. Top of the key, 3. That one is good. Adkison. So now you got 2 things to worry about. Najdui on the low block, and then Adkison is starting to heat up from the top of the key. He's now got 9 points.
And playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Najdui with a team-high 14 points. Adkison with 9 points, all coming from beyond the arc.
Good defense there, too, by number 24, Atkinson. Really pressuring Hicks, making the Golden Bears uncomfortable.
So Millersville will bring that up after that turnover. And another whistle. Things getting a bit more choppy here as the flow goes. A lot of whistles here in the early going, turnovers and fouls. Already 9 fouls combined between the two teams in the first 6.5 minutes of this second half. And this latest one will send Faulkner to the line.
And already in the bonus is Millersville, with 13.5 minutes left in the game.
So that normally forebodes a long second half. And that foul shot looked like one of mine. KU down 10, their largest deficit of the evening. Granberry, degenerate. Lee, corner, 3. That one gets the friendly roll. Anthony Lee gets it to go. That's 3 or 4 shots where you just have to think, wow.
He was hanging, leaning. I think there was a little contact.
Najdui goes up. He's open, and he slams it and stares down Akilo Mosby after he gets that one. Those two are battling underneath, and Najdui cannot be stopped here in the second half.
An emphatic 2 points.
That might have been the loudest roar of the night from the crowd, and it came from Millersville section. Lee battling 2 defenders. Gets it out to Granberry. He'll hoist up the 3. No good. Lee pops up there. Where did he come from? And he'll get it to go.
Someone else on the Golden Bears needs to match the energy of Anthony Lee. He is all over the court, playing with a lot of intensity. Going to need something from someone else here in the remainder of the second half.
Yeah, it seemed like he was just getting frustrated at the top of the key. Next thing you know, he's underneath. And now he got a little jawing underneath the basket as Najdui has to pull away a teammate. I think it's Faulkner underneath. Not sure who he was jawing with, Coach. Did you see that?
Mosby.
And it looked like Mosby and Najdui were battling, but it's actually Faulkner and him who jaw. Maybe Faulkner was coming in for reinforcements for Najdui. You would think a man standing 6'8", 220 pounds could fight his own battles.
I would think so.
But, you know, you're fighting for your teammate. But the officials are discussing.
Well, in some ways, Tyler, this could benefit the Golden Bears. Maybe light that fire under them a little bit. Give them a little bit of spark. There is still plenty of time in this game. And with a pretty packed house here in Keystone Arena, maybe that fuels the crowd as well, gets the Golden Bears back in it. All they need here is a score, a stop, a score, and right back into a one-possession game.
So they have met with both coaches at the scorers table. They're alerting the scorers table of what's happening at the moment, what will be the decision on technical fouls or anything of the like.
Well, I tell you, I didn't see any fists thrown. I didn't see any punches going. There was a lot of jawing in between. I think what we have here should be just a common foul. And then it looks like maybe more than that, but I didn't.
So it is going to just be a foul on Anthony Lee. Will be his first, the team's 8th foul here this half. And it doesn't look like anything else will be assigned to either player. So maybe they're just letting the record be known that there's a warning on either side at the moment.
They may have called. No, I think you're right. I was thinking there was double fouls there, but I think you are correct.
But no, they may have called a foul. I think they called a foul on Faulkner as well.
Yeah, Faulkner and Mosby, because I saw Mosby up on the board, his
Correct.
4th foul.
Yes, Mosby.
And Mosby needs to be careful here. He's going to be needing the second half. He looks like he's getting a little physical right now with 4 fouls. Needs to be smart.
So there's a foul on Anthony Lee, a foul on Mosby, and then a foul on Faulkner. Mosby and Faulkner's came from the extracurricular, and Generett will silence the Marauder crowd a bit with that hoop in the arm as he finishes there.
Foul on number 33. Help me out, Tyler.
Caden Najdoui.
Let you take that.
I don't even know if I'm right.
4 fouls, though.
4 fouls there, so the big men getting in trouble. Najdoui with 4 fouls, and 4 fouls for Mosby as well. Several players with 3 on either side as well.
And with 16 points in the game, 12 points in the second half, sending Najdoui to the bench. Along with this little momentum swing here, could be huge for the Golden Bears. Get an opportunity to get another point closer here with the media timeout coming up very shortly.
So a lot of action here. KU playing from behind, hoping that maybe that spark from the words that were exchanged can maybe get the team going. They're currently down 7. Townsend set to check in for Mosby. 12:07 left here in the second half.
Looks like we have some more jawing here. I'll say between the home and away books on the scores table as well.
Kind of talking things out. And I just got this hot off the presses, Justin. Anthony Lee, with his last basket, has now eclipsed 2,000 points. It's a lot. Did you score 2,000 points in your career?
In my life or my career? In all of basketball?
Well, I mean, in like one setting.
I have not.
Okay. So quite the impressive feat for him.
And congratulations to Anthony Lee. As you said, very impressive.
One of the best players in Division II. He's got 28 points tonight. That's right at his average, 27.9. And that one's good from downtown. And Marcus Adkison for 3. Excuse me, James Sullivan on that one. And that's 8 points for him. I'm just used to Adkison getting it from downtown. That was their second leading 3-point scorer. And there's Anthony Lee giving himself 2,002 points now as he gets that one to go as he's got 30.
Great heady play by Granberry there. Keep the ball inbounds and find the cutting Lee to the middle of the basket for an easy 2.
And that one rims in and out, no good for Millersville. KU down 7, looking to keep the pressure on here. Now Lee stops, kicks it. Hicks goes baseline, loses it. And it's up for grabs. Townsend gets it and gets fouled as he tries to go up. So Josh Townsend will go to the line. And he will attempt those foul shots after this with 11:09 left in the second half. Millersville 63, Kutztown 56. We'll be back after this with more Golden Bear basketball on KU PSAC Network. Back inside Keystone Arena at the break. Anthony Lee honored here inside the Den for reaching that 2,000 career point plateau. So once again, congratulations to him. Got a standing ovation from the Den defenders here inside Keystone Arena. Well deserved.
And as a coach, Tyler, you probably, I know I would use that energy from the crowd, use that individual milestone to help catapult the team into getting back, clawing back into this game as they've had, and try to close the door. Still plenty of time left in this game down 5 now.
And as a player, you kind of want to, for Anthony Lee, who's well respected and loved in the program, to make sure that this memorable night ends with a win.
Absolutely.
You'd love to look back and say, hey, I crossed 2,000 points on a big win in a divisional game, and not, well, had 35 points, crossed 2,000, but we lost. Because, as much as the individual accolades tally for him, he cares most about the final score.
Absolutely. And he's going to get that accolade at some point this year. You knew it was going to happen. And as you said, an incredible accomplishment. But knowing Anthony Lee, he would much rather take the W at this point.
Another foul here on Ricky Hicks, his second. That'll send Faulkner to the line. We'll be having a lot of foul shots here in the final 11 minutes of the second half. Lee kicks it to the corner. Hicks thought about getting to Townsend on the low block. This is the opportunity for the Golden Bears with Najdwi out to try to gain some momentum here as Anthony Lee bobs and weaves through the paint and lays it in for 2.
Impressive drive by Lee there, gashing his way through the Millersville defense.
I like that verb. Faulkner, baseline. Stops, nearly walks, whistle silent. Drives, lay it in, no good there by Washington. Townsend, back it down as defender, lay it in. The hook shot good for Josh Townsend. Having a little bit better go of it when he's going up against Nwosu than not Najdwi.
Well, and hopefully that gets Townsend going as Anthony Lee steals and leads the break.
And he goes, and it's a block. And one. Anthony Lee gets it going as he drew the foul and will now go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play.
And also an opportunity to tie the game here for the Golden Bears with this completed free throw. Should hear a roar from the crowd trying to get back into this.
And it's good. KU on a 7-0 scoring run in the last 70 seconds to make this a 65-65 ball game. Millersville kicks it to the wing. Past the midway point of the second half. Atkinson, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound, Townsend. Lee up, tried to lay it in for 2. Granberry tried to go for the second chance attempt, and Hicks will take it. Slow things down, fresh shot clock for KU. KU's climbed back from what was at one point the largest deficit at 10 points, now knots it at 65. Granberry showing off the ball handling skills, stops floater, good for Daquan Granberry. As he has 4 points in this one. Drive, stop, shot, no good by Faulkner. Rebound, Lee. And KU just looks to want to push the ball. Lee slams it down. Anthony Lee, coast to coast, and gets the Kutztown University crowd on their feet as the 2,000-point scorer slams that one down for his 36th and 37th point. And that has just awoken, if that's even a word, the crowd here inside Keystone Arena. And now we're going to have an intentional foul on the other end.
And not to take away from the excitement, because what an impressive finish by Anthony Lee on the slam. But looks like the rest of the Bears got caught up in the excitement, did not get back on defense, and a wide-open breakaway attempt for Millersville. Hicks fouled. I didn't see the intentional foul, but that's what was called.
And that is the third personal on Hicks. And coaching staff kind of calming him down, as he probably didn't agree with that call. So foul shots done for Millersville. Now they keep the basketball. down 2. Looking to tie here. Stop, kick, drive, back out. Low block goes up. Townsend on the fence. That one no good. Batted around. Hicks has it. Kicks it back out to Jenner. Him and Lee. 2-on-1 opportunity. Lee takes it up and tries to lay it in. Not strong enough. Granberry tried to have it. Picked up, though, by the Marauders. Faulkner going the other way. Transition 3 for Atkinson. Rattles home for the Marauders, and that will calm down the Golden Bear crowd. And Coach Stitzel calls a timeout as he tries to take advantage of maybe the momentum pendulum swinging Millersville's way as they're back up by 1, 70-69. What a series of events, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, Kutztown wasn't able to push the lead even further with that last break, generate with the steal there. I think what Anthony Lee was looking for was a lob on the 2-on-1 fast break. Gave him the ball a little bit too early there, was unable to finish. And as you said, Millersville came down with the big 3 to put them back up. Need to take those opportunities and convert them into points, especially in a tight game going back and forth like this.
I thought maybe Lee could have given it back to Generate because I think the defender shadowing over to him, you expect Lee to get the finish. So you're right, if it's that early of a pass, it might have to have been a give back or wait on the pass.
And especially being a defender in that situation, Anthony Lee has the ball on a break in a one-on-one situation, probably not giving up the ball.
So Anthony Lee with 37 points now, well in the stratosphere of a game high. The next highest scoring Golden Bear, Ricky Hicks with 8.
Yeah, and that's where you've seen Josh Townsend come on here a little bit in the second half and get some buckets underneath. There needs to be a secondary score. There's going to be at some point in this last 8 minutes where somebody else, if the Golden Bears end up winning this game, someone else other than Anthony Lee is going to hit a big shot. Just waiting to see who that individual is going to be.
And
I think the spark, excuse me, Tyler, I think Daquan Granberry can give this team a little bit more of a spark. He's doing a good job creating energy. He has the ability to get to the rim as a shifty guard, shifty wing, and I think he's somebody who, in addition to Townsend, could give them a spark here in the last 8 minutes.
On Millersville's side, a much more balanced attack. 4 different Marauders in double figures. The leading scorer for them is Najdui with 16, but he's saddled with 4 fouls on the bench. But when he was out there, especially in the second half, he was having a monstrous half.
You can see here, Tyler, there is a certain look in the eye of Anthony Lee right here. Brought the ball over half court, got fouled immediately, walking right to the foul line, looking extremely confident, and who wouldn't be after that emphatic slam just moments ago.
Faulkner picks up his 3rd foul. That's what sent Lee to the line. The man on a mission makes his first and tie it at 70. KU averaging just under 84 points per contest. May get to that plateau. Still 7:53 left in this one.
This is a 50-point kind of game for Anthony Lee, if I'm being a bit Nostradamus-y. Is that a...
Yeah, that's fine. Little prognostication. I like how we're making this Sesame Street. We're just trying to use big words. And a foul.
Well, we have Oscar the Grouch over there on the sidelines of Millersville.
Foul on Ricky Hicks, his 4th personal. The team's 10th. So double foul shots the rest of the way, as it has been for the Marauders. Atkinson at the line for now. Hicks will head to the bench with those 4. And following him is Granberry. Coming in are Hardy and Aaron. So 2 starters checking back in. Atkinson is shooting a 2nd foul shot, makes it as they take the lead 72-71. And a carry on Kion Hardy, something you don't see called often. And I would say probably 80% of the people that play basketball carry. Is that an average assessment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that was a carry. It looked like the ref was just waiting for him. Like he was waiting for that call. I don't know. Maybe that's
maybe he saw it earlier. Coach Stitzel maybe planted the bug in his ear. Townsend sends that past his ear. Out of play after the block. I used to carry a lot in basketball. That was my middle school years. My only time as a basketball player. Might have had 2,000 carries. That one blocked, but he kept it. Aaron's had his hand in there for the disruption. Atkinson goes up again and draws the foul. The hoop is good, and he'll go to the line to try to get one more as Atkinson showing that he can go to the rim as well as shoot from beyond the arc.
Well, and I kind of think that's frustrating for Coach Driscoll. There was contact. There was contact on the play. Was the contact initiated by Townsend? I'm not sure about that.
And that one is good. So after a big Kutztown run to tie it up, now Millersville's on a 5-0 scoring run in the last 50 seconds. Jennerett nearly lost it, kicked it over to Hardy in transition, was fouled by Millersville's Hendricks, his first personal. Substitution, and someone they got to keep their eyes on is back out on the court for Millersville, and that is Najdwi with 4 personals, 7:10 left. You think it's a little early to put him back in? Your team's on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, I think if I'm Coach Stitzel, I'm leaving him out. The only thing I could think of is maybe he's going for the kill shot here, trying to put a dagger in the Golden Bears. I don't know that that's necessarily happening with 7 minutes to go, especially with the Bears at the free throw line. Probably would have waited as long as I could to get to that 4-minute mark to then put him back in the game.
I agree. Najdwi comes in for Hendricks. He picked up that foul. Jennerett makes both foul shots, so 75-73. I mean, I thought your lineup you were touting out there for your Millersville was keeping you competitive. Atkinson was doing well. We'll see. Now it's right down to him. He goes up and try to lay it in. He gets fouled en route to the hoop. We'll see who gets called for the foul.
Well, he certainly commands a lot of attention. So that could be what Coach Stitzel is looking for, commanding a lot of attention, which would then open up Atkinson on the perimeter as well.
3 golden pairs were swarming towards him. It will be Facundo Aarons, who now has 4 personal fouls. And count them, Coach, 4 different Golden Bears have 4 fouls currently.
And that's going to be something to definitely keep your eye on here in these last 7 minutes. Could see Aarons come out here. See Granberry possibly going back into the game as well.
And the issue is Najdwi, if he's able to stave off that 5th foul and stay in, a lot of these players have height. I mean, you're looking at Facundo Aarons, you're looking at Mosby, you're looking at Townsend, all with 4 personals. The other one is Ricky Hicks. Millersville up 4, 6:43 left. Good ball handling skills, and he lays it in. Anthony Lee is having himself a night as he kisses that one off the glass for 2, gets fouled in the process, and he'll go to the line where he's very comfortable.
Yeah, there is not much you can do defensively to stop that whirling dervish of a shot attempt.
And he makes that one to now give him 42 points tonight, just 8 away from Justin's prediction of a 50-burger for the redshirt senior. Okay, you down 1, stop kick. Trying to get Najdwi, he just throws Townsend away. Look, a swim move from a lineman. Townsend hits the deck, whistle silent. Jennerett gets the loose ball, whistle still silent. Anthony Lee's trying to go 1-on-2, splits the defenders and lays it in. Anthony Lee cannot be stopped tonight. 44 points for Anthony Lee as he's put the team on the back and here now back out front, 78-77.
That's exactly right, Tyler. He is putting this team on his back, and the rest of the Golden Bears are going for a ride, and that is fine with Coach Driscoll.
Dumps it off, pick and roll. Lee goes high, avoids the contact, lay in short, and Lee gets the rebound. Anthony Lee working on a double-double. He's got 8 rebounds. Jennerett, corner 3, good. Kyrie Jennerett for 3, 81-77 for Kutztown University, a 4-point advantage.
And remember that big 3 by Jennerett there. Big time shot in the corner as all the focus was on number 23, Anthony Lee.
Kutztown on a 10-2 run in the last 90 seconds. Since Najdwi's come in, nothing's really happened. Not the same run he had before.
Absolutely, and they've constantly been trying to feed him the ball, which has been broken up the offensive momentum for Millersville.
1 on the shot clock. They got to go up, and they just beat it. Do the Marauders as Nasu lays it in right as the clock was going to 0, and they'll beat that buzzer And now it's just a 2-point advantage as we're under 5 minutes to go here in this one. Generate trying to get it to Townsend. Najjui on defense of him. And Lee tries to split 2 defenders and will draw the foul. If he's not scoring, he's picking up a foul.
And that's exactly what we talked about earlier, is getting him the ball. Anthony Lee will create something, whether it's for himself or for others. You have 5 sets of eyes locked on him every time he has the basketball. He finds a way to get himself to the free throw line or get himself a shot opportunity.
So Anthony Lee had 50 points back on December 8th at UPJ. That was his highest point total of the season. I believe that was his career high. We'll have to confirm that.
Yeah, he's going to pass that tonight, because I'm telling you right now, he's going to take plenty of shots to get him to that point tonight.
So he's got 46 at the moment after those free throws that put the Golden Bears back up by 4. Najjui backing down. Townsend lays it in. That one's short. Townsend gets the rebound. And that's got to instill some confidence in Townsend, who was getting beaten up by Najjui earlier in this half. Now they'll go down to him. The pass couldn't get to him. Townsend saves it. Hardy takes the baseline jumper. That one no good. Aaron's second chance attempt no good. Now there's Townsend to clean it up, and he'll lay it in for 2. And Townsend getting things going on that low block. And now we have a whistle. And the foul will be called on Kion Hardy, so add him. It's now a quintet of Golden Bears with 4 fouls.
I think I heard them play at Schaefer one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
They got good concerts on them.
Kion Hardy's settling a little bit too much on offense, Tyler. He has the speed and the athleticism to get to the rim, settling too much for those mid-range jump shots.
6 points for him tonight, just 2 for 6 from the floor.
Big misses there at the free throw line for Millersville.
Lee nearly loses it, gets it back, and then gets a foul call. And that is on number 3, Faulkner, who now has 4 personal fouls. So add him to the list of players that have 4. That's 3 for the Golden Bears for the Marauders that have 4 personal fouls. We just under 4 minutes, 3:54 to be precise. KU up 6, 85-59. Don't go anywhere. Be right back after this on the PSAC Network. Back here inside Keystone Arena, things are starting to heat up as those temperatures drop outside here in Berks County. 85-79 the score. Kutztown out front. Justin Holman, Tyler Trumbauer with you on the PSAC Network. And Anthony Lee having himself a night, 46 points. His career high 50 he had earlier this year at UPJ, also the school record. And he's going to get one step closer to that here as he heads to the line to shoot 2.
Oh, he has the fire in his eye tonight, as we talked about, and he's really turned it on here in the second half of the second half, being really aggressive as he hits the first of 2 there. He's able to draw fouls. He's able to get into the body of the defender and get himself to the free throw line.
And both of those are good. He's now got 48 tonight for the Golden Bears. Millersville trying to get in a low block. Najjui has it, pump fake. Now he'll drive. Townsend is called for the foul, and that will end his night, his 5th personal, as he will head to the bench for the rest of the night. His stat line looking 8 points, 12 rebounds for Townsend, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 1 block and 2 turnovers, as his day will come to an end.
Big decision here for Coach Driscoll. Does he go with Mosby
Also
or does he go small?
And we'll see. He's going with Mosby. He just doesn't want to give up that height advantage with Najdui in the game, most likely.
Well, and it makes sense. And this is a big 3.5 minutes here for Mosby. Going to need to obviously stay out of foul trouble, but obviously play really good, solid defense, as these last 3.5 minutes are going to be very key.
And the first one is good. So Mosby is the chosen one from Coach Driscoll, but he also has 4 personal fouls. And if he does foul out, or one of these other players, Facundo's got 4, they will be forced to go small. Ricky Hicks is on the bench with 4 fouls. Could also go to Daquan Granberry. And we have a collision on the near side and a whistle.
And if Coach Driscoll Coach Driscoll is lucky, Najdui will pick up his 5th, which will allow him to go to more of a smaller lineup as well, and that's something that could definitely benefit the Golden Bears here.
So far, so good for Najdui. He's played, nearly 4 minutes with those 4 personals after having an extended stay on the bench. We were questioning the decision, but so far, so good for Coach Stitzel and company. Generate at the line, KU up 6. Their largest lead has been 8 tonight.
And so far, so good for foul trouble for Najdui, but as you mentioned, kind of broke the rhythm up for Millersville, and obviously, gave up the lead in that last 4 minutes as well.
Yeah, it was ill-timed 4th personal. You had to take him out. You couldn't keep him in there, and you could have lost him for the final 11 minutes. Because typically when you're playing with that much momentum and confidence, you're playing a little more physical. Easily could get called for the 5th, and he just hasn't been able to heat up. Since coming back in, 3:27 to go. Shot, Atkinson for 3, and he gets fouled beyond the arc. And he misses the shot, but he will go to the line to shoot a trio of free throws. Generate called for the foul. That will be his first.
And a foul it was. You can never foul a jump shooter, especially the team's leading 3-point shooter there. Dodged a bullet. Not getting the 4-point play, but has a good opportunity to get 3 here.
Jimmy Butler fouls the 3-point shooter at the end of the game the other day against the Thunder. Probably something you shouldn't do. But Atkinson doesn't make Generate completely pay for it. Misses the second after making the first. And misses does make the second, nearly misses that. Now full court pressure from Millersville. We got a whistle and a foul. And that's going to be on Atkinson, I believe, which is his 2nd personal foul of the evening. He looks a little bit shaken up after getting fouled there on that shot, but he looks okay now.
The Golden Bears, I think, got a little lucky there. That was an extremely touchy foul, going the benefit of the Golden Bears. Maybe. I'm going to stop talking during the free throw. But.
Aaron's with the miss. Up by 5. Foul shots are crucial. Goes 0 for 2 on that trip. Kutztown is shooting 77% from the free throw line in this one. Millersville shooting 77 as well. Both actually 76.7 if you're keeping score at home. Mosby with a good rebound there. And then trying to find an outlet pass. Generate comes around, kicks it up to Anthony Lee. Lee tries to go up and gets stuffed by Najdui. It'll go out of bounds off of him. It'll stay here. So Anthony Lee with 48, 2 points to tie his career high and program record. A 3 would give him the new school record for points in a single game. Under 3 to go. Hardy, jumper, and that one gets the friendly roll. And now KU with 90 points as they eclipse their nightly average of 89. Or excuse me, 84. They're well above that at the 90 mark. And almost an alley-oop now over the top of his head. Najri, well done. Maybe ill-timed, but he was able to kiss it off the glass behind his back. And Anthony Lee rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be Millersville basketball, a little bit of a slip and fall. And unfortunately, he had the ball. So nothing's done yet. Obviously, things seem to be going Kutztown's way. We're talking a lot about Anthony Lee getting to a program record potentially, but this is a 5-point ball game.
Well, and now, as both teams are in the double bonus, and Mosby going to the bench with his 5th foul. Big decision here for Coach Driscoll.
And Mosby is done for the day with those 5 fouls. No points for him, 2 rebounds in 11 minutes of play and 5 personals.
And the Golden Bears are going to have to be forced to hold this 5-point lead, potentially even a 3-point lead after these free throws with a extremely undersized lineup. Going to have to be gritty to say the least.
And that one is good.
Could possibly see offense-defense substitutions as well here, as Granberry could possibly check in to play defense a little bit longer than some of the players out here for the Golden Bears.
That one's good as well. Full court pressure causing trouble. They stole it away. Najri has it, gets it over to the teammate, and it's good. As that's Faulkner laying it in, turning the turnover into points. Marauders now down just 1. It was a 5-point game 5 seconds ago. Lee gets it up to Jenner, and he'll lay it in a good transition, and a timeout by Kutztown. And when we saw KU putting the pedal to the metal and working in that full court, and they were just pressing, that's when things were going well for the Golden Bears. When things started slowing down and it was the strength and the height of Najri and Millersville, things were going the Marauders' way. Got to go back to pushing it more.
Well, for sure. And they're going to have to try to force tempo and push the pace a little bit. But obviously Millersville is going to look to slow it down and run half-court sets because they have the height advantage. What you saw right there, pushing the ball, getting a fast break opportunity, and a great timeout by Coach Driscoll just to calm his men down, take a breath. You have a 3-point lead here. Need to play solid defense, get a stop. All they need to worry about right now is this possession right here. Get a stop, secure the ball, run some clock.
And Kutztown up by 3, 1:51 left here in the second half. I guess at this point we should say left in regulation.
Sure. It is a close game.
Millersville to inbound the basketball out of the timeout.
Both teams in the double bonus here, so something to keep your eyes on here in these last final, just under 2 minutes.
And that one is a foul as Faulkner tried to go to the rim. And that will be on number 5, Kion Hardy, who was the last of the Kutztown players to get to 4 fouls, and now he's the third one to get to 5 fouls. So his day is done. 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and those 5 fouls in 28 minutes of play for Kion Hardy in the starting lineup tonight.
And 2 more players for Golden Bears with 4 fouls right now. Ricky Hicks, Facundo Aarons as well. Be very interesting to see if one of them pick up their 5th foul. Somebody from the Kutztown bench who has yet to play today could make a major impact on this last minute and a half of the game.
Granberry is the one that's come in for the ineligible Hardy. And the foul shot good, so 92-91. And that one's stolen away, but given right back. Good job by Millersville to steal, but they gave it right back. Granberry chases it down in the corner. Baseball pass to Hardy. And they'll finally settle this one down under 90 seconds to go. KU up just 1. 1 minute, 20 seconds exact. Anthony Lee has it. 48 points to his credit. Will he hit a program high? Will KU hold on to the win? They're trying to just hold on to the basketball, but shot clock's at 8. They got to do something. The handoff to Anthony Lee. He's a man on a mission. He goes up, tries to lay it in. No good. Whistle silent. Ball up for grabs, and he's got it, but they'll say it never hit the rim.
Oh, I think it did. No, that definitely hit the rim there.
They will say it never hit the rim. The shot clock never reset. From my vantage point, I thought it touched underneath. And they will say it did not. And
Wow.
they will say a shot clock violation called on the Kutztown University Golden Bears. So with 1:01 left, that's a turnover on the Golden Bears. They're up 92-91, and it's going to be Millersville basketball after this. Don't go anywhere. We have an exciting 61 seconds left right here in the PSAC network. Back inside Keystone Arena, things are getting interesting here inside the den. KU 92, Millersville 91, 1:01 left. Millersville's basketball coming up the court here, under a minute to go. Marauders underneath, Granberry on defense. Faulkner throws up and gets it in for two. Jaden Faulkner puts the Marauders back up by 1, 93-92.
The ball has to go to Anthony Lee here if you're the Golden Bears.
Millersville's on a 10-2 run to put them back up by 1. Anthony Lee's got it, and he kicks it over to Granberry. Granberries have it. They're all over Anthony Lee. They know that's what the game plan is. He's trying to create separation. Shot clock at 8. Anthony Lee loses the basketball. Nearly went over half court. He's got to take it out. 3 on the shot clock. Jenner loses. He's got to throw up the corner 3. It's too strong, no good, and another shot clock violation. Anthony Lee caught it, tried to throw it back up, was thinking maybe a foul, but the whistle's silent, and that will be another shot clock violation. Now the shot clock's turned off. 21.8 left, Millersville basketball. And Millersville calls the timeout. That's their final timeout.
Oh, and you're seeing by Millersville on defense, doubling anytime Anthony Lee gets the ball. Probably shouldn't have gave it up the first time he did. At the end there, the second time doubled, out by half court with only 6 on the shot clock there. But great defense by the Golden Bears, keeping a minute. As you said, Millersville's last time out here. Be a great chance to get it, or great for the Golden Bears if they can get a 5-second call here.
So 21.8 on the clock. Both teams in the double bonus, so a foul will walk in the floor shooting 2 every time.
And the jump ball in Kutztown's favor as well here.
Right.
If you can't get a 5-second call here for the Golden Bears, you have to immediately foul. But in the process of fouling, you go in for the reach, you try to get the jump ball, switch possession back to the Golden Bears.
And here's the inbound full court pressure. Anthony Lee all up on him, try to get the jump ball. And now as he's trapped on the baseline, and they're going to call Anthony Lee for a foul. Anthony Lee gets called, tried to go for it. He's got fouls to give, so that'll be his 3rd. But they nearly trapped him in the near side corner. He was able to escape, and then they nearly had him underneath his own basket on the baseline, but somehow he's able to escape unscathed, and now he's walking the court, and it'll be James Sullivan shooting 2 at the line, where he is 2 for 2 tonight. And the broadcaster jinx.
It's live and well. Now with that miss here,
Yeah.
possible to only go up 2. I wouldn't call timeout here if I was Coach Driscoll. I'd let him play.
And he makes the second, so 94-92. KU can tie or win with a 3. Anthony Lee with the ball. It looks like they're going to hold it. He's got a timeout in his pocket if Driscoll wants it. Anthony Lee double team, kicks it to Hicks. Hicks, it goes off of Millersville, and will stay here. Do you call timeout now?
Yeah, absolutely. You call timeout now to set something up for Anthony Lee as Coach Driscoll hears me.
And he does. He does call timeout. The use it or lose it timeout, 3.3 left. So now what are you looking? Are you looking, number one, I guess the question is, are you going for the tie or the win?
Well, I think you go for the tie on your home court here. With the foul trouble, though, you got to try to get the best shot possible. With only 3 seconds left, unfortunately, what you don't have in your back pocket is another timeout. So while obviously this play is going to be for Anthony Lee, if you can't get the ball into Anthony Lee, you don't have a timeout, you're going to have to get it into whoever's open. For Coach Stitzel from Millersville, obviously you don't let Anthony Lee beat you. So I would expect a double team on Anthony Lee here, forcing somebody else from the Golden Bears to beat them. And what an opportunity here for Anthony Lee to possibly send the game into overtime, possibly win the game, possibly tie or eclipse your career and program high, because he is still stuck on 48 points.
And all that will be decided in the next 3.3 seconds. KU brought the ball up the court, so they'll have the inbounds from the near sideline here. And Coach is right that if you do send this to overtime, you likely go for the tie at home, but you're down 3 players in foul trouble, fouled out, and you got 2 others with 4 personals.
And I think what you need to remember here is you don't have to have a catch-and-shoot situation. You have an opportunity to not only shot, fake, and drive, but maybe possibly get all the way to the basket.
Facundo Aaron's the one to inbound it. Anthony Lee currently on the low block. He's looking to get a screen, trying to get it to him. They got to get it into him. Maybe a 5-second violation. They get it to Hicks. He gets it over. Lee will get it stolen from him, and that's that. Anthony Lee tried to go up on a turnaround jumper. It would have been for 3. And as he puts the ball back, he gets it stolen away by the Millersville defense, and that'll do it.
Heartbreak for the Bears for sure. Had an opportunity there to possibly tie or win the game. Had some trouble getting the ball in there. Like I said, had to get it in to not get a 5-second count. Tough break for the Golden Bears, who had I wouldn't say a comfortable lead, but a pretty strong lead towards the end of the game.
They were up 8, 87-79 with 3:36 left.
Sure.
And lose by 1. So a tough one and an anticlimactic ending, with Anthony Lee unable to at least get a shot off, and you got to think that's a tough way to end, and he doesn't care that he scored 48 points, he eclipsed 2,000. He's going to remember the loss tonight to Millersville by a final score of 94-92. He does finish with a game-high 48, though. Najjoui, half of his production. He's got a team-high 24 to lead the Marauders to victory tonight. Kutztown falls to 11-8 overall, 5-6 in PSAC play. Millersville improves to 10-7 overall and 6-4 in PSAC play, and picks up a huge win when it comes to the standings. Kutztown was sitting 5th coming into tonight, and Millersville 4th, so that could come in to play as we get into late February next month and get closer to the playoff time. So each team will get a win. The women's team wins 78-63 in the first game of the Twin Bill, and the Millersville team, men's team, wins 94-92 in the second one. So next time out for these squads for the men's team will be at East Stroudsburg, and the women as well. Both of them will be, at East Stroudsburg coming up on, when are they? They're going to be on Saturday. The 26th will be here hosting the Warriors of East Stroudsburg. We will have that for you on KU TV Sports Live.
And it is Alumni Day for the women's basketball team, so please come out. Welcome back some of Kutztown women's basketball alumni that will be here for Saturday's game.
Alumni coming out. If you can't make it, you can tune in on KU TV Sports. The tip-off for the women at 1, men at 3, as they'll get back to the court here in this one. Thank you all for tuning in tonight here on the PSAC Network. Thanks to Coach Holman once again for tuning in, helping me here tonight as you tune in. I'm Tyler Trumbauer saying so long from Keystone Arena.